Welcome at It's Never Too Far Away. In this video I have been spending 3 days in Seoul, South Korea around New Year's of 2023. In a city of 10 million people and a metro area of above 20 million, you certainly cannot see all, you can only take away some impressions. The city is divided by Han River and we start with some views across the water. A good thing to do to get an overview in any city is to get up on an elevated place for views and familiarization. So I climb up on the hill which has Seoul Tower sitting on its top. Slowly the city sounds become muted and the view allows an understanding of the size of Seoul. For the way down, taking the comfort of a short cable car ride. As a next point to go to and start exploring the city, I went to City Hall. In Seoul, this is a very futuristic building. Not far away from there, a small river is cutting through the skyline. You can see some snow there. The temperature at the turn of the years was just below freezing during daytime. Between the business buildings, a small temple offers contrast between old and new. Small stars with wishes for the new year could be hung here. Interesting fact is that Korea actually follows the Chinese lunar calendar, so New Year celebrations must be much more significant in February. Now it's time for some food. Kimchi is always the starter. Cutlery or chopsticks from metal can be had from a drawer underneath the table. Many different styles of Korean meals involve cooking of the prepared food on stoves right in front of you. Still in the same part of town, a walk along historic walls is neatly decorated for New Year's. Reaching a neighborhood which hosts a range of different small shops with each block dedicated to certain products, like photo cameras on this particular corner. On another corner, absolutely fascinating herbs are on offer. The probably lost tourist is certainly on the mind here. Actually, at various points, I saw tourist information guides wearing bright red coats and offering to answer questions in English. That is valuable as English is certainly not well spoken here at all. A few blocks away, this traditional gate proves that this part of town is the historical one. Walking on, I had then come to a quite chic neighborhood with less high office buildings, but instead lots of boutiques and art galleries. Inside this small market square, there were handicraft shops. And on the roof, Poop Cafe. How about a coffee and waffles? Next is a brief visit to Seoul University campus. This is a popular shooting location for K-drama. Then it is some walking in a nearby neighborhood. Walking the streets is for me an important part of exploring faraway and therefore totally interesting places. This might be just a totally normal place, but for me being there is simply amazing as I live in a completely different world. It became evening, a time when the city becomes lit up by so many lights. A lively area full of shops still open in the evening. Perfect time for another meal. Again, there's live cooking right at the table. Finally walking back to the hotel and passing by Lotte's signature department store. In front of it there is a world of Christmas lights that could be inside a Disney theme park. Next day, still in Seoul, but across the river at a completely different place. Gangnam has a style not found where I was the day before. This part of town is rich. This street is where all those luxury brands have their shops. A lot of major cities have such streets, and I have seen a few, but here this takes a different dimension. Sorry, you guys from London, Paris, and New York, but you would faint when you see how the brands are boasting their own buildings one beside the other here in Seoul. Gangnam is surprisingly big, and everywhere you see private art galleries and beauty clinics. What is funny? In this street there is also a collection of figures which each represent a K-pop band. Probably it can be said that Gangnam is home of K-pop. There is also the fist called Gangnam Style sculpture. The music of artist Psy is playing here, which I cannot replay in my video due to copyright rules. All the time people kept stopping here to take a quick dance. Time for food. Of course, again, with cooking right at the table. It turned evening, at which time I came to take a look as the lights turned on across the river Han. Then it turned midnight, which happened to be New Year's Eve. I learned that in Korea a tradition to welcome the new year is by waking up to see the first morning sun of the year. But also lots of people came to one of the official fireworks organized at a temple in Gangnam. I also woke up to see the first rays of sunlight of 2023, but that was because it was time to head to the airport and fly home. As always, thanks for watching. And don't forget, it's never too far away.